Randee Morales is on Cage Minds. We got Havoc and Hobbs this week. It's her first interview, so camera shy?
Maybe a little.
Maybe a little.
Yes.
Fighting at atomweight.
Yes, 105 pounds. My fight's going to be on Friday, the 19th. I'm really excited to, get my opportunity to succeed with my title. Like my last fight, I had a title fight, but I didn't succeed. So, this is a good opportunity for me. Not many fighters, I think, get back-to-back title opportunities, so I'm really excited.
4 fights in the back of this amateur run so far, but let's go back further than that. How long have you been in the gym for?
I've been training since I was 6. I've been doing Taekwondo up until I was 16 years old. I have a 2nd-degree black belt. I just recently started doing MMA probably like 2.5 years ago. And then shortly after I started, I had my first fight. So I just really enjoyed fighting and I wanted to keep it going.
Taekwondo, what age were you when you started?
I was 6. I was really young. My older brothers, I had 3 of them. They all were black belts and did Taekwondo also. So it was kind of like a family activity, and I was involved from the very beginning.
So your first MMA fight wasn't your first fight. 3 brothers?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of competition in Taekwondo by itself. I have all kinds of medals. People always come over and they like to look at my medals at my house and stuff, so it's nice, but it's totally different. Taekwondo transfers not as well as I'd like to in MMA. Taekwondo has a very tall, upright stance, and MMA you have to be lower, getting ready for takedowns and stuff, so I'm still learning how to transfer my styles, but other than that, I think it works. I know striking and kicking, so I don't have to learn that over again, so that's always nice.
And with the Taekwondo aspect, when it's competition, it's more of a point style, or?
No, it was actually 2-minute rounds, or sometimes 3-minute rounds. It would be like an amateur fight. It would be like 3 3-minute rounds, 3 2-minute rounds, and they would basically score you on points. You weren't allowed to punch to the face. It was all kicks to the body and or to the head. So, it wasn't a lot of striking. It was mostly kicking, but it was still cool.
So transitioning to MMA, outside the grappling, the striking realm at least, how much was that just, smooth transition?
Well, I think the striking and kicking, just knowing how to do it was good, but I had to change up my stance and my kicking style. I would do a lot of flashy, snappy kicks instead of really powerful kicks, so, my coach, he pretty much helped me, just relearn things right, I guess, for MMA.
And then from transitioning to Taekwondo and having been competitive, when you went to MMA, right away you had focus on amateur, and I'm guessing
excited.
Further.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping to go pro eventually. I'm only at 5 fights, so maybe after 5 more, I think that's a good amount to maybe venture towards the pro area. I feel like you need experience, and I feel like my 5 fights is only just a little bit of experience, so I might even wait longer.
And then also in that, there's been a lot of stoppages. So what has it been about you that's transitioned to these exciting fights? I've been up at Buffalo Thunder. I was up in Farmington, been there, and they've been action-packed. So what is it about you that makes these matchups?
I don't know. I think that I'm just full of energy. I like to go out there and do my best. I don't want to feel like I didn't perform, so I want to make sure I do everything to my ability.
And is worst part of MMA the weight cutting?
Yes, it sucks. I love to eat food, and right now I'm only eating a little bit of food. I eat 3 ounces of tuna in the morning, 3 ounces at night, and a tablespoon every 4 hours of almond butter. And it's just crazy.
And we're talking striking. What's the ground like? What was that like, the transitioning, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, so I had to go to a lot of grappling tournaments to improve my skills. I had a little bit of wrestling background because my uncles, they wrestled for all 4 years of high school, and they kind of taught me when I was doing Taekwondo. But the submission part of it I had to really work on, and I'm basically just a defensive grappler. I like to take my time on the ground and look for a submission if I can.
Like you're light, you're bubbly, you're relaxed. Up in Farmington before fighting Tabitha Trevino. epic picture that Sal Gomez Footworks has. You're smashing your fists together. You got the meanest pit bull face. What's fight day like for you? How do you have that flip of the switch, the flip of the personality?
I don't know. I just changed. The mentality changed. It flips you. You realize that this is business now. It's not a game. You know, you're in there. You could get hurt. You could hurt people. So you got to protect yourself and be ready. You can't be thinking it's all fun and, you know, it's not. Well, it is fun, but you have to be careful. So.
And I was going to ask you, how much fun has that been, this whole journey, your martial arts?
The adrenaline is amazing. I feel like I'm an adrenaline junkie, and so all this fighting has really made me. It picked me up. I was in a really low point in my life before I started fighting, and so now I feel like I have a place in life, and I'm doing good, and this is where I should be.
And then your opponent this Friday is?
Oh yeah, my opponent. Her name's Benita Valles. She's 2-0. She's from, I think it was Plainview, Texas. Yeah, she looks good. I watched one of her fights. She's a striker. She trains out of a karate school. So, you know, I think we'll have good exchanges, and I'm excited to see if we can take it to the ground or not.
So you got a prediction coming up for the fight?
You know, I really would prefer to win, but you know, if I lose, it's okay. You gain experience regardless of the outcome. So
like I said, I've only been there for 2 fights, but those 2 fights, you stood there, you guys traded, it was a banger. Is there a part of your coaches saying, hey, you know, you could always shoot a takedown. We'd like to see live 100% what your ground game looks like before we get too far into this.
That's really funny that you say that, because my second fight, I didn't go to the ground at all, and it probably would have been an advantage of mine if I had taken her to the ground. Instead, I tried to bang with this really, really tall chick who had reach on me, and, you know, I probably could have capitalized if I had grappled with her, but I didn't.
So coming into this fight, just for your all-around growth in your fight game, what's a small goal out there?
Honestly, I think I would like to take this fight to the ground just so I can work on my ground experience, just help it, you know, get better, because I'm always standing and thinking that striking is the way to take the fight, you know, but there's always these other parts of it. There's so much involved in MMA. You can't only rely on striking.
And then in the amateur run, you're at one of the biggest gyms in the world. What is it like here? Michelle Watterson, Holly Holm, Emily Kagan, there's UFC fighters galore, and you're getting worked. What's it like having these learning experiences?
It's really amazing. I appreciate having these teammates on my side, because they're the best in the world. You know, I feel like I gain from them as well, and they really push me hard, and I appreciate them pushing me hard. They teach me, they help me learn. They really help me out. I like it a lot, and I appreciate all of them for everything that they do.
Message to the fans, the supporters, and the people that need to get out on Friday night and go to the fight.
Oh, a message to the fans. I'm so happy that I have you guys on my side. I'm so thankful to have all my sponsors and my teammates and my gym that I train at. And I'm excited for Friday, and I think that it'll be a great show, so you guys should get out there and watch it.
Do you have anybody you need to thank?
Probably just my coaches, Greg Jackson, Mike Winklejohn, Coach Joey Villasenor, my sponsor Joel Ojeda, I think that's how you say his last name, and then my other sponsor AJ Salazar. So,
Randee Morales, thank you for the time.
Thanks.
Havoc and Hobbs, you can catch the results on CageMinds.com.